with John Andres at halftime. The Knicks and the Celtics are tied at 48. The ceremony's getting underway, commemorating the final regular season game for the Celtics here on the parquet at the Boston Garden. And the MC for the festivities from Channel 7 here in Boston, John Dennis. Let's pick it up.
Overwhelming that the NBA has named its Coach of the Year award after him. This is the man truly responsible for our celebration here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Red Auerbach. Tonight, for such a tiny man, this guard had a giant impact on the game of basketball. This Hall of Famer helped lead the Celtics to the 1981 NBA championship. The only man ever to lead the league in both assists and scoring in the same year, a six-time All-Star, Nate Tiny Archibald. We got a long way to go, folks. An eight-time All-Star who was considered by many to be the greatest shooter of his era. This Hall of Famer was affiliated with 12 NBA championships, including 4 as a Celtic. He was the MVP of the 1955 All-Star game, battling Bill Sharman. Don't die, do they, Bill? Long before Bo and Dion played two sports, this gentleman successfully toiled in both baseball and basketball. He is the only individual in history to win world championships in 2 separate sports. He was an all-star pitcher for the Milwaukee Braves and a 3-time champion with the Boston Celtics, Gene Conley. Member of 8 Celtic championship teams during his career, he was known as the league's greatest defensive forward. He was an Iron Man who appeared in a one-time Celtic record of 459 consecutive games. His knowledge and his court savvy led to his eventual elevation to head coach of the Celtics, number 16, Tom Satch Sandu. Of 7 Celtic World Championship teams, this intimidator was always among the league leaders in floor burns. A tenacious defender who averaged a double-double prior to being the first player in league history to return from back surgery, the only man to have his name retired to the rafters. Please welcome Jim Loscutoff. Championship. A 5-time All-Star, he was one of the league's leaders in shooting or scoring every season between 1961 and 1966. Number 24, Sam Joe. Celtics famed six-man role, swinging between guard and forward. He made his mark as a team player. He was one of the Celtics' deadliest free throw shooters of all time and a member of 7 Celtic championship squads. The Kentucky Colonel, Frank Ramsey. This 6-time All-Star posted double-digit averages in scoring and rebounding in each of his first 6 seasons in the NBA. He was among the league leaders in scoring during his 2 championship seasons with the Celtics in '68 and '69. He was always known as one of the classiest players in the league. Buckshot Bailey Howell. This 7-time NBA All-Star was the MVP of the 1976 NBA Finals, the second of his 2 championship rings with the Boston Celtics. During his career, he led the Celtics in scoring, assists, and steals, while totaling a Celtic record of 488 consecutive games. Number 10, Joe White. Performance in the inaugural 1951 Classic at the Garden. He was consistently among the league leaders in scoring and led the NBA in field goal percentage in 1954. He was the very first Celtic elected to the Hall of Fame. Number 22, easy, Ed Macauley. World champion Celtics. He was one of the pioneer guards to combine both outstanding height with outstanding quickness. He averaged more than 17 points a game, a 3-time All-Star, and an Olympic gold medalist, the thin man, Charlie Scott. The best passing big man in the game's history. He was the MVP of the NBA during his first title run in 1978. He won the NBA's 6-Man Award during the Celtics' 1986 banner season. A 2-time All-Star, Bill Walton. To shut down an opponent, they turned to this swingman. His harassing defense led the NBA in steals in 1979. One of the most energetic people ever to wear the green, he helped Boston capture 2 titles. Start waving your towels for M.L. Carr. This 5-time Celtic world champion was the league leader in field goal percentage percentage in 1975. He has participated in more games as a player and head coach than any individual in the history of the NBA. He's the winner of an unprecedented 3 NBA Coach of the Year awards. Number 19, Don Nelson. In 1957. The Hall of Famer was a starting forward on 8, count them 8 Celtic World Championship teams and the head coach of 2 more. He played in the All-Star game 6 times. Coach of the Year in 73, number 15, Tommy Gunn, Tommy Heinsohn. This clutch all-around performer was a 13-time All-Star and is the Celtics' all-time leader in games, minutes, and points scored. He was selected to the NBA's 35th anniversary team 3 years prior to his election to the Hall of Fame. Number 17, Handu John Havlicek. The MVP of the Celtics' 1981 championship series, he was also a member of the 1984 team. He led the NBA in shooting in both 78 and 79. He stands as the most accurate marksman in the history of the Celtics. He always kept his team loose. Cedric Maxwell. Greatest player he ever played with on a team. The 5-time All-Star helped Boston win the 84 and the 86 NBA crowns. His number 3 will forever soar above the floor. DJ Dennis Johnson. The MVP of the 1979 Celtics, he was the first player in league history to hit a 3-point shot. His inspiration guided the Celtics to the 1981 NBA championship, a deadly outside shooter who once played in an amazing 417 consecutive games. Head coach, Chris Ford. This next man absolutely revolutionized the way the game was played. Creativity and originality were his trademarks. He was an All-Star 13 times, an MVP season in 1957. This Hall of Famer guided the Celtics to 6 world championships. Number 14, Bob Cousy. During his Rookie of the Year campaign, this Celtic helped orchestrate the largest single-season turnaround in the history of the NBA. 3-time MVP, an All-Star 12 times, This man's revolutionary defense led to his selection as the league's MVP 5 times. He is the holder of countless rebounding marks and collected the second most boards in league history. This Hall of Famer was a 12-time All-Star, including the game's MVP in '63, a member of the Celtics teams which collected 11 league championships in 13 years. Here he is, number 6, Bill Russell. Celtic family, your extended Celtic family is gathered here tonight as the days are dwindling in this old building. As you look around and you see everybody from Russell to Bird and everybody in between, what does the old patriarch think about all of this? What you've accomplished, what this team has accomplished?
Well, all I can say is this. The Celtics don't want you to. They not only were great players, great athletes, but they lived up to all the standards of what the Celtics stands for. They're great people, great family man. I love every one of them.
Now, Red, if you would join me down here, as the patriarch of this Boston Celtics franchise, we think it's only fitting that you should come down to the visitors' bench and inbounds the basketball and start what I can best describe as the all-time Celtic fast break. Red, you begin with Tiny. Red goes to Tiny. Tiny. Into Gene Conley. Over to Losky. Don't take a charge, Losky. Over to Easy Ed. Easy Ed to Walton. Walton to Bailey Howell. Bailey Howell to Frank. Charlie Scott. DJ in the middle. ML. Don Nelson. JoJo. Over to Max. Down to Sam. Tommy Heinsohn. No, Tommy. Bill Sharman. Sharman's thinking about it. He passes it up into Satch. Satch to Kuz. Kuz goes behind his back to Bill Russell. Russell to Havlicek. He stole the ball. No, he can't steal the ball. Get back there. Into Larry. Gentlemen. Team picture.
Wonderful moments here at the Boston Garden, the ceremony taking place at halftime of the Knicks-Celtic game, which is tied at 48 for this, the finale in regular season play for the Boston Celtics here at the Boston Garden. The team photo being taken at center court. Emotional moments